Hello and welcome to Yoga for Everybody today. I'm Jodie, your guide. Today we're going to be talking and practicing postures that will be helping us with perimenopause. So get nice and comfortable. We'll be sitting to start the class today. Feel free to sit on a block or a cushion, whatever feels good for you. Sometimes sitting up a cushion helps our low back. So just get comfortable. Lift your heart, relax your shoulders, stretch the crown of the head up towards the sky, and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. Again, inhale. Exhale with a sigh. And a third and final time. Take a deep breath in. Great. So start by letting the breath slow down naturally. So if you happen to be thinking about thousands of things right now, it's so important that you let a thought release with each exhalation so that your mind can start slowing down and that you're really accepting to be in the present moment. So notice how you're feeling with each and every inhalation and every exhalation. And notice where the breath is falling in the body. If you notice that it's landing in your upper chest, lower the breath down. So when we inhale, we want to feel that the whole stomach expands. And when we exhale, we're going to press the belly button a little bit in towards the spine. Again, inhale, breathe deeply. Exhale fully. Notice that once you start breathing really deeply, a sensation of inner peace starts installing naturally. Now, as you pay attention to the breath, you should notice a little inhalation, a little pause at the top of the inhalation, at the base, at the exhalation as well. Otherwise, you should feel very fluid. And that way, our body starts following the breath, and our body starts becoming more flexible and fluid as well. Now notice your breath is probably slowed down tremendously. And we're going to keep the breath slow, fluid, and deep. Now contract your throat just a little bit for the Ujjayi breath. And you'll notice your breath turning into a sound, kind of like the ocean breaths. So we literally call this the ocean sounding breath in English. So notice too how the air works with the breath, kind of like the water of the waves. So it inhales, the air comes in, we exhale, and it sweeps everything out with the breath. So we inhale, concentrate on that idea of having positive energy come in, and really consciously exhale and send out any types of worries and all of those things that really aren't working for us anymore. Allow yourself to become empty of those negative feelings when we exhale. This is always available to do. And it's so important because sometimes we feel very lost in the face of conflict. And we do have that control when it comes back in through the breath. Now inhale and notice how the energy that stays at the base of the spine can come up towards the third eye. It's going to pass through the belly, the heart, and the mind at the face. And as we exhale, imagine it going back down through the hollow column of the spine, back down to the tailbone. So we inhale to feel nice and light. And when we exhale, we concentrate on that feeling of the weight coming back down to the earth. Today, we're going to practice a breath called Sitala. And this is something that's great to cool down our system. And this is very different from our usual yoga breathing exercise. What we do is we make a circle with our tongue, and it lets the tongue work almost like a straw. Now, this is a genetic thing. Either you're able to do it or not. If it does not work with you to curl your tongue, keep your teeth together and smile. I know it's a little bit strange, but don't worry about it because you're going to notice the effects right away. So this way is also different because we inhale through the mouth, exhale through the nose. So keep continuing on at your own rhythm. And this is a really fantastic way to breathe when we're having hot flashes. So a lot of times, even before hitting menopause, we do have hot flashes while the hormones start changing. And you'll notice, and the studies actually prove that if you practice this type of breathing, your hot flashes will go down by 44%. So only 15 minutes. So this can help you enormously. Sometimes we're lucky. There's no type of heat flashes, hot flashes. But some people do have a really hard time living with those hot flashes. And remember, there's always an easy time to start dispersing that hot energy. So remember, make your tongue like a straw, breathe in, and then exhale through the nose. I know even for myself, there were so many things that made me feel shy when I was practicing yoga when I first started. Either because I made funny sounds or my face looked all twisted. But through the practice over all of these years, how much those postures and breathing techniques help, that the shyness actually just disappears with the practice. So don't worry about that if you do feel a little bit awkward. So now you can let go of that type of breathing. And we're going to start taking deep belly breaths. So a lot of times going into perimenopause, we feel fantastic. Our body's in great shape. Everything's fine. And I would like you to think that we're actually working on a hormonal level, not necessarily on the muscular level. So we're gonna move very slowly in this class. It doesn't have anything to do with physical tensions. So now we're going to come into a comfortable seating position. And we're going to start doing some slow head circles. So exhale, let the head come down. And then slowly start to circle the head around with the breath. Even go slower than usual. Listen into the sound of your breath and keep a hold of the ujjayi breath. Let all of the tensions just relax around your neck. Right now, there's no stress. There's nothing else you need to be doing. Good. Change directions for your circle. If ever you're finding this uncomfortable, do half circles with your head instead of full circles. And remember, our objective here is to slow down to find our balance. Excellent. Come back to center. Place your hands on your shoulders and make circles with your elbows. Inhaling up and around. Exhaling down and around. Let the movements become very comfortable and slow. Remember, our intention for the perimenopause class is to slow down, find our balance, connect into the breath. It's not about working. Good. Change directions. Inhaling up and around. Exhaling down and around. You just want to feel like you're tracing your mobility. Very good. Place your hands on your knees and keep moving comfortably. We're going to go into the seated cat and puppy stretch. So inhale, lift the heart, look up. Exhale, roll the back. Let your hips roll as well. Inhale, lift the heart, look up towards the sky. Exhale to roll the back. Just keep moving at your own rhythm of breath for the movement. Remember, it's your breath that guides everything. And I know a lot of us women do way too much. So it helps so much to slow down, to find a balance in our daily life as well. Great. Come back to the center and start making circles at your waist level. You can roll your head with the movement as well if you like. Keep it slow, almost as if you're a sloth. Notice the breath coming into your body and find your physical comfort. Change directions. Keep concentrating on the feeling that you're creating of wellness and luxury in your system to keep everything balanced. In society, We have so much to do. We have to cook and clean, look after the kids, and do the errands and work. And it often seems like there's not enough hours in the day. So really take this moment to relax as a luxury. Great. Come back to center. Bring your hands down by your sides. Inhale, lift the left hand up. Stretch the right hand out from the hip. Soften the right elbow and come down to a half moon. Relax your neck. And we're going to start making arm circles. Inhaling up and around. Exhaling down and around. Remember to let your system really slow down so the body can come back to normal. Change directions. Feel how nice it is to inhale when the arm goes back. Good. Let your left hand come back down to the ground and come back to your center. Now spread the left hand out to the side. Inhale, lift the right arm down. And as you exhale, melt down towards the left side in our half moon, or crescent moon. And then you can start making your circles. Inhaling the arm up and around. Exhaling down and around. And remember, the size of the circle is going to be different for every single person. Listen into your body, and it will tell you how deeply you should work. I'm only your guide. Good. Change directions. Inhaling up and around. Exhaling down and around. Listen into the sound of your breath. Good. Come back to your center. And then sit back on your heels. We're going into hero's posture. And there's many ways, many steps to this posture. So listen into your body to judge how far you should go. So there's so many people who have lots of tension in their ankles and their knees. If that is your case, take some blocks or some cushions and put them under your hips high enough that there's no tension left, or pain, I should say, in your knees or your ankles. And that will be your hero's posture today. If you're comfortable in your knees and your ankles, open your knees, your ankles up so you can bring your hips down to the floor. If that's too much for your knees, just come back and sit on your heels. Now, if you're able to keep your hips down on the ground, bring your cushion behind you, even a block maybe for your head, and lie down on the block and see if you need an extra boost for your head. Remember, we're not here to feel stress and tension. We're here to be comfortable and let our systems do whatever it needs to do naturally to come back to balance. So again, do what step you need to be comfortable, and don't give in to your ego that tells you that you need to go bigger and faster to be better. That's not the philosophy of yoga. That's the philosophy of a sport. Yoga is not a sport. There's no competition here, not even with yourself. It's just completely about respecting the present moment, which is not the same as today or yesterday or 5 years ago. One angle is not better than the other. The truth is what is important, is that you're practicing at your right angle for what's important for this moment. So take another few moments to let all of the ligaments and tendons completely relax around your knees and your ankles, your hips. If you're in a seated position, keep the heart up, stretch the crown of the head up towards the sky, relax your shoulders. Keep breathing. If you like, you can come back to your Sitali breath. So remember, that's either when we make a little circle with the tongue, or we make that fake smile with the teeth. We're inhaling through the mouth, exhaling through the nose, and just bask in the luxury of that calm, the serenity, and the luxury of thinking of only yourself right now. That's so good. So if you are right now lying down on your back, relax the Sitali breath. Press your elbows against the mat to help you come up. Push your cushion to the side. And then we're all going to go into child's pose. So bring your forehead to the mat and your hips back to your heels. Stretch your arms out. And remember, if you're not comfortable, use your props and support your head. You want to let your hips relax down right now. And let the back relax. It's all going to happen with the gravity. Even relax your elbows. Let the comfort come back to your body as it slows down. Take a few more deep breaths. Make sure your hands are forward in front of your body right now. And take a moment to look at the hands, making sure that they're shoulder distance apart. Your index fingers are parallel. And we stretch all of the fingers out from there. Now tuck your toes under and straighten your knees to come into down dog. Now start walking out your down dog by lowering one heel down at a time. If it's comfortable, even bend your knees and rotate your hips side to side as you do this. Great. Now let your heels sink down towards the mat. Turn your tailbone up. Relax your shoulders. And press your belly button in towards your spine. Relax your neck. And now you can start walking your feet in towards your hands. Stay like this in a standing forward fold if your hands can touch the ground. If your hands do not touch the ground, use your blocks to support yourself. That way we can completely let go without using any big muscular strength. Remember, your blocks have different heights that you can use. Now, look at your feet and make sure they're about hip distance apart and that all of your toes are pointing forward. Now let your neck just sink down and cross your arms at the elbows. Let your body rock side to side. You might even notice the feeling of the belly touching the sides, but it doesn't. Do not worry at all. Just let your body relax forward. Great. Now bring your hands back to the block if you need to. And relax your low back as you turn your tailbone up towards the sky. If you don't need the blocks, that's fine too. Now, wiggle your feet out quite wide, with the big toes pointing in towards center. So again, if you need to, feel free to use the blocks for your comfort level. If you don't need a block, that's totally fine. Bring your head down even further. Now turn your tailbone up towards the sky and activate your feet. So that's when we contract the feet so we feel the arches lifting up. Keep breathing. And notice all of your energy coming down towards the earth. Move slowly. And then we're going to wiggle our feet in again. So this time our toes point outwards and we're coming into a squat. So the squat can be different depending on your ankle configuration. Some people will have their feet down on the floor. Some people will have to lift their heels up. That's totally fine. If you're one of those people who need to have their heels up and you're having a hard time with the balance, put a cushion or a blanket under your heels to support you. Great. Now place your elbows to the inside of the knees and lift the heart, noticing your neck nice and long. Again, inhale. Exhale fully. Remember, your breath is always the most important thing for the class. Very good. Now relax your legs. And we're going to come down onto our belly. And we're going to need our cushions so we can do a supported Sphinx pose. So you're going to place your cushion more or less to the height of the lower rib cage and bring your forearms to the mat. Feel free, if you're finding a bolster is too high, to use a rolled up yoga mat or a towel, for example. Make sure that you turn your big toes in towards your center so that you can relax your legs and the air around your sacrum. Good. Now relax into this posture. If you want to put a little bit more extra effort, stretch up through the crown of the head and look forward. Of course, you can close your eyes to allow the work to happen naturally in the body. So one of the reasons why we're using the cushion under our belly is because it helps regulate the digestive and the hormonal system, and also because a lot of us hold so much tension through our body. This helps us release. Good. Come back to the Sitali breath so that we can cool down. Make a circle with your tongue or the fake smile, gritting the teeth together. Remember, we inhale through the mouth, exhale through the nose. That's fantastic. Now gently put the cushion to the side. Walk your hands backwards so we can come into child's pose and relax the back by pressing the hands into the earth. Feel free to rock your hips side to side. Great. Slide down to your belly and turn your head so you have the right ear down to the ground. Slide your arms open and we're coming into a twist. So as you inhale, lift the whole left leg up and roll it back. The angles will be different, so your leg might be hanging up in the air, it might be coming down to the floor, just wherever it wants to go naturally. We're not forcing at all. We're gonna let the hips, the low back, and the spine relax so it can find its natural beauty, its fluidity. And think about spreading those areas of tension with the breath so that the breath can work for us. We're just working with that natural state of life. I knew that when I found yoga, it was almost magic for me for healing and relaxing and getting back to myself. Now, as you inhale, think about all of that good energy coming in and exhaling, releasing all of the negative. Great. On your next exhalation, roll back down onto the stomach gently. Great, we're going to move towards the other side. So turn your head so the left ear is on the ground. Inhale, lift up the whole right leg and start rolling it towards the back. Good. If it's touching the ground, wiggle it back to find wherever you're comfortable. If it's hanging up in the air, that's perfectly fine too. And then consciously relax your hips and your low back and your whole back so that the breath can deepen and relax those areas. So a lot of times when we inhale, we'll feel the posture become a little bit sharper. And as we exhale, it relaxes. That's very normal. Very good. Now as you exhale, come back to your stomach. Place your hands under the shoulders and press backwards to child's pose. Now press your hands to the earth to stretch out the back and inhale to walk the hands back to come to sitting. So we're going to need our cushion again, and we're going to be doing a supported forward fold. That really depends on your level of flexibility. First thing to do is just to open the legs a tiny bit and roll the thigh to the outside so we can feel the sits bones on the floor. Now, if you're very flexible, you can just lean forward, as long as that doesn't cause any uncomfortable feelings. Now, for those of us who aren't quite as flexible, feel free to put a cushion between your thigh and your stomach so that you're propped up a little bit and you're supported for the forward fold. If you want just a tiny bit of help, you can put a cushion between your legs and let the forehead just rest on the cushion. Your comfort level is going to be what decides the level of the cushion. And again, we're going to just concentrate on that feeling of gravity, helping us release the tension. So a lot of times during perimenopause, our hormones are changing and our estrogen goes down and the cortisol goes up. So unfortunately, it's easier to have lots of body tension and that we accumulate some weight around the belly. And so when we press the belly against we let the belly relax against the cushion, it helps even out the hormones to work. Now as you inhale, come up one vertebrae at a time to come to a seated posture. Great. Now bring your cushion to the sides, and I'm going to let you practice one of my favorite restorative postures. So this is pigeon pose supported. So bend your knee and then start twisting towards the opposite leg as you stretch it backwards, and support your chest with the cushion. So we're going to bend the right knee, the left leg extends behind, and we just start twisting so that we can relax our body on the cushion. Feel free to move the cushion so you're nice and comfortable, since that's really our class's objective. Remember, we're working with hormones today. It's not to work with the muscular tension necessarily. We want to think about bringing the balance back to our hormones. So spoil yourself with these types of postures. I know way too many women that are completely and totally exhausted with everything that they feel like they need to be doing on a daily. And so when menopause or perimenopause starts, they become even more exhausted. So remember to listen into your body, to notice what signals it gives about how we should move, how we should breathe, what we need to let go of, and keep a hold of this beautiful relaxation practice. Great. So bring your hands back so we can come up slowly. Now, as we come to the center, we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. And the size of the angle is not important. When you open, you don't want to feel a big stretch already. Just go to whatever feels is your limit. And then use your cushion however it's appropriate for you. You can hold onto the bolster so that one end is on the ground and you're balancing under the chin. You can extend it forwards and just let your forehead rest on the cushion. And then if you're very flexible, you can bring your forehead right down to the ground. So again, we're looking for that sensation that we're melting down to the ground without any muscular effort. This is the total and complete relaxation to come back to our bodily harmony. So a lot of us, when we're coming into perimenopause, we feel so much stress to have these changes happening that we don't necessarily want. And we have this internal struggle that happens. So, bringing this into perspective, remember the other hand, all that wisdom of the experience that we have that comes. Sometimes we're even lucky enough to have epiphanies that happen, and it's so important to listen in to what you know. Keep breathing in and out to your maximum. Let all of the comforts come back. Excellent. Remember, whenever you feel that comfort and relaxation that comes into your body, allow it to sink forward. Good. Now as you inhale, walk your hands back to come to a seated posture. Place the cushion to the left side. Bring your feet together and bounce your knees up and down for butterfly posture. You're going to feel all your comfort coming back to your hips. Good. Now we're coming into pigeon on the other side. So bring the cushion wherever it feels good for you and extend the right leg backwards. Keep the left knee bent. And remember, you can relax any way you want on that cushion. Now it's very normal if you're experiencing more tension on one side than the other. Just pay attention to the angle and go to that spot that you feel comfortable. There's no one angle for every person. Remember, we're working with therapy. It's not moving bigger and faster that's going to help. We want to think about those little micro movements and details so we can move naturally into what's right for us. Remember, these changes are natural in our hormones. We're just going to help our body change as smoothly and gently as possible. Good. Feel all of the tension leaving your hips and your low back. Keep breathing deeply, exhaling fully. And when you're ready, come up to sitting nice and slowly. Good. Bounce the knees up and down for butterfly posture. Good. So now we're going to lie down on our back with our knees back, and just make sure you have your pops close to you, especially your block right now or your cushion, so that we can do a supported bridge posture. So press your feet to the earth, lift up your hips, and put your cushion or block under your hips. Remember, if this bolster is too high for you, choose another prop that will help. If your hands are down on the ground, roll your palms up towards the sky and slide the shoulders away from the ears. Again, the most important thing here is to let go. So if you need to, let your knees relax down to center and open the feet up a little bit more. If it's more comfortable, extend your feet a little bit more forward. So keep your feet on the mat so that you're not overstretching the top of the hips either. Keep listening into your breath. And notice how you feel in this posture. It's a gentle posture that really bring us very important changes, even just in terms of circulation in the body. It also helps us put the sacrum in the right position so our low back can be comfortable. Remember, it's always your breath that's the most important here. And just listen in to the sound of your breath. Remember to deepen the breath so you feel the belly moving as you breathe. Even exaggerate it. Good. Now, make sure your hips are still very comfortable on your cushion or block. And then we're going to place a folded up blanket on the belly. Bend the knees and let the thigh come down towards the blanket. If you feel comfortable, straighten your legs and let the legs come closer to your head. Keep breathing nice and slowly. And remember to adjust the posture so you feel comfortable. Usually, when you adjust your body, do slight adjustments, it can be an extremely comfortable position. Notice what you're feeling in your feet right now and how all of the pressure is coming off your feet, your ankles, your calves, and all your legs. Feel how nice and light it's starting to feel. There's so many people who have their legs that swell, that even just reversing the posture and keeping the feet up in the air helps so much. So again, we're stimulating our internal organs with the pressure against the belly. Good. Now bend your knees if your legs are straight, and slowly bring your feet down to the floor. Place the blanket to the side and rub your palms together to create lots of heat and energy between the palms. Now when they're nice and warm, place them down on your low belly. If you feel better, interlace your fingers and just allow the heat to relax all of your organs around and all of the muscles around your low belly. This is especially helpful if you feel cramps in your belly. It brings in a lot of comfort and it helps with the healing. Good. Release your hands. Press your feet to the ground. Lift the hips up. Push your cushion to the side and then slowly bring your hips back down. Stretch your arms out. And then one knee at a time, bring your knees in towards your belly. Now as you exhale, allow your knees to come down to the right side and turn your head gently to the left. Make sure you're able to relax here by adjusting the height of the knees. If you're still not comfortable, take your cushion and let your lower legs rest on the cushion. And let the low back relax here. Keep breathing deeply. Remember, there's no pressure here. We have tons of time. Very good. Now press your belly button in towards the spine. Inhale, bring the knees back to the center. And as you exhale, let them come down to the left side. So again, experiment with the angle of the knees to find the stretch that's best for you. And feel free to use the cushion to support your legs if that's better. Make sure your low back is comfortable. Now turn your head slightly to the right. Relax your hips, your back, and your shoulders. Let everything release naturally, without any type of force. The only effort you need to make right now is your breath. So inhale deeply, exhale fully. Now, as you exhale, come back onto your back and stretch your legs out as you prepare for Savasana. Now get nice and comfortable. Feel free to use the cushions under your head or knees if you like, blanket if you're cold. Get as you like. Make sure that you feel your head centered. Your shoulders are tucked down away from the ears. Wiggle your hips on the mat to make sure they're comfortable. Spread your legs if that feels better. Just get comfortable. Now, pay attention to all of the parts of your body that are touching the ground, like the back of the head, the shoulder blades, your hips, and your heels. And as you exhale, let all of those parts of your body melt down to the mat. And let yourself go further and further into the relaxation. Now I know it's so easy to fall asleep during Savasana. However, ideally, we take this time to study ourselves and notice what the postures have done to our body, mind, and spirit. So as we relax, ask yourself, what has changed in your physical body? What sensations are you feeling? Are there tensions that are still remaining? You can even get very specific and notice which postures affected what. Yoga is a study about ourselves, through ourselves, and the contemplation is as important as the physical work. And it's equally as important to notice how the class affects your mind and your emotions. Good. So you can make your way up slowly to a seated position. Lift your heart, stretch up through the crown of the head. Bring your hands to your heart in prayer. And we'll chant Om to end the class. Inhale. Thank you so much. Namaste.